Okay, we are now officially live. So, hello everyone, Nerui here, and welcome back. The time has come once again for us to return to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker.
Konbanban, Naroi-san.
Yeah. Last time we were here, last time we were here to focus on the main story content, we just got back from way back in the past, and, well, the rest of the Scions are waiting on a debrief, because they don't know yet just what I did and where I went. We did take a little sidetrack to handle one of the role quests, because I had to do at least one of them on stream. So, yeah. So I guess the question is, should I go and start debriefing the Scions, or should we get into a roulette to shake off some of the rust?
Let's go for roulette.
Alright then. In that case, I'll switch to Red Mage. Yeah, because, well, I mentioned it in call for all, but not on stream. Recently redid my hotbar a bit because I found a vid online that gave a suggestion for a hotbar thing for the controller, and you know what? I want to give it a try, see how it feels.
You really want to do this? Like
yeah.
this?
So you're thinking of going samurai then?
Your mic is cutting out badly now.
Hold on.
Like a cool region, honestly.
Any better?
What happened?
I just moved it so Discord was open on stream and not minimized. Oh, not on stream, but on screen.
I could do it, maybe.
So
yeah, it seems to be working.
So I'm guessing you want. So I'm guessing you want to go. You want to go. Go samurai then.
Been doing tanking and healing so friggin' often. What is that you're doing? I don't know. We're not parted up.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah, that would definitely help. Honestly, yeah, we've been doing like so many with you as the DPS. May as well, you know, switch it up from time to time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Solo is, nah, we can take a leveling or something later. One moment. Leveling. Maybe we can take high level. the current role in need being tank, we should get in pretty quickly. Probably get in instantly if one of us was tank, the other was healer. But been playing frickin' healer and tank so often. It's like, give it a change of pace, please.
Fair. I mean, personally, I've been going on a bit of a push to get tanks and healers all leveled, so I can just at a more relaxed pace do the rest of the DPS. Good so far. And next.
Down you go. Ugh. You know, 30 years of using first person pronouns, still hard to get used to.
Boy.
Oh. God. So we just dropped dead.
Ooh.
Oh, he was an Astro. That makes sense. That was a one-shot kill, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. If I were to guess,
Yeah.
everyone was standing right next to ground zero of both of the big booms.
That makes sense. So I suppose you forget how squishy you are when you're not playing tank.
Alright. Next one. Trying to pull a Godzilla there at the end.
How so?
He had the blue glowing fins on his back as he was doing that fire breath.
Love a scorpion, eh?
Been a while since I've been here, so we'll see how well I remember this. I'd say that for the most part went pretty well. Now, time for that whole debrief.
Is it a long cutscene?
Possibly.
Does it say that it's a long cutscene?
Eh, we'll find out. Nope, no warning.
Hmm. I guess it properly. What do you mean,
Just get. I'm getting the debrief on what's been going on here so far. Basically, everyone's trying to stem the tide of the blasphemies, but well, that is a bit of a losing battle.
You still have 2 more to go, you know, or at least you do.
And now it looks like the final days have come to Garlemald. Okay, so it looks like the next stop is a visit back to Garlemald.
You ready?
First things first, I should change into something better fitting the weather.
Well, this would be wise, yes. Are you? Red mage, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Very well. The appropriate attire shall be selected. Let's see. Yeah, go mode, right?
Yep.
Hold on. I'm gonna go mode. On the post first. Okay.
Right. Off to Camp Broken Glass. Oof. Yeah. I also want to point out that the listed weather in here right now is literally apocalypse. Oh. It looks like this next one is going to be an instanced encounter.
Wait, hold on now. Hold on. Let it
Oh.
see screen. Let me check this frame. Oh.
I don't like that reaction.
It's this one. Who is that that's standing there?
Lucia.
Oh, it's this one.
I'm afraid to ask what you mean by this one. What hell am I in for as soon as I speak to Lucia?
Yeah, you will see. But you must go alone.
Ugh.
What you must face it alone. And we'll see you on the other side.
So yeah, this gave the long list that several cutscenes will play in sequence. Set aside sufficient time to view them in their entirety. Also, required to participate in battle, there will be checkpoints. Oh, crap.
Good luck. There the way, son. You're great.
No. 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 We were promised an escape. Not the same road we fled.
I shall not meet my final days here in this blasted waste. Calm yourselves. Your panic is our greatest enemy. Come, we must build a line of defense.
You're talking to ordinary folks, not soldiers.
How?
Leave the fighting to us, Father. You must lead the people to safety.
I can handle this pair. You?
Shall tend to the refugees. Let us be about it.
As you wish, my little lord. I'll command the beast's attention. See to the wound!
Help is at hand.
Leave it to me.
Great.
Those who can stand, come with me.
You're safe now. Easy now. Deep breaths.
Worry not for the refugees, but for yourself.
Crap. Look away.
Let not a single fiend escape! Wait, that's... Euless and the army. So, you've recovered then? In time enough to be of aid, for once. We can speak of it more later. For now, we must fight! To repay your salvation in kind, or with better! For Garlemald has her pride! Of that I've no doubt.
Good gods. Of all possible saviors, the Imperial Army. Oh!
I had hoped to take all of them down at once.
Think a withdrawal might be in order?
Oh, sod that. You know who would never abandon these people to their fate. To be devoured by their former friends. That'd be beyond cruel. These beasts must fall here and now.
Well then, I'd say it's high time we threw caution to the winds.
So long as you spare me the heroic sacrifices. Now, let's go!
Alright, time to fight as Alisay now.
None to worry about.
The air crackles with energy. Find cover!
Wrong side now.
As they say, turnabout's fair play. On guard.
One more fight done.
There's not the barest trace of ether. Maybe there really is no way to bring them back.
Thank you for saving our lives once again. I remember you, from Purusha. You helped us there too, didn't you?
Ah, you're from Palaka's stand. I'm glad you're still in one piece. Or you will be, once I see to that injury of yours.
Look out!
Get out of here! Quickly! I won't lose them. Not a one. This will be a brighter future. I won't let a madman's apocalypse ruin everything we've fought to achieve!
Get it together, Alize. You're embarrassing yourself. And in front of father, no less. You might never measure up to our champion. But we ask too much of her as it is. You mustn't let our sword in the darkness fight alone.
This is precisely why you should never skip your squat regimen.
Say it.
I can look after self, you know.
Everything's in order, I trust?
I've had enough of this rabble! Come on!
Oh, a trio for the ages. Just the beginning.
I had a feeling I'd find you here. This should be the last of the Lost Army. With me!
Okay, definitely gonna need to spend some time getting used to the new muscle memory for the new layout.
You must board without delay. The ship will depart ere long.
Your offer to host us in Hydaelyn is most appreciated. But will the final days not soon fall upon it as well?
Your hesitation is not unwarranted. The satrap entrusted me with your lives, yet I have failed your comrades. Nor are you wrong to fear that this corruption will continue to spread. I cannot promise you complete safety, even in my homeland. What I can promise is that I will do all in my power to protect you. That power is not inconsiderable. Even now, my countrymen are preparing the vessel that will deliver us to a sanctuary on the moon. Join us on our journey there, and beyond, to new horizons. Come to old Hydaelyn. Please.
We would be fools to refuse such a generous offer made in earnest.
It seems they've a new destination.
The people of Hydaelyn have known too much suffering. The march to Garlemald will only bring them more, short though it may be.
I quite agree. Fortunately, they have you to look after them.
Yes. Well.
Behind you! Just there!
More of them.
Oh no.
Xenos! Here!
Look who it is! It's your friend!
You'll be all right. Hurry to the airship.
Why have you come?
A heretofore unseen beast. 'Twas ripe for the slaying. Poor sport, alas. Unfit to temper my blade.
Oh, for the love of... You cannot still be on about a rematch.
That is, and has ever been, my sole concern. You, on the other hand, are fixated on a different quarry. Your passion pales before mine, yet neither hate nor despair seems sufficient to recapture your misdirected bloodlust. So, I hone my blade, and I wait.
That's it. That's all you care about. Garlemald is in ruins. Our land, the nation you rule, is as good as gone. Along with so many of its people. Not just soldiers like us. Not only those who fought and killed for power and duty. Innocent civilians. Murdered by their own flesh and blood. Lost and confused as they breathed their last. While we who survived with our lives and minds intact were left to freeze to death. The Eorzeans tell me all this was your doing! You slaughtered your countrymen! You did! For what?
For nothing, in the end. So much wasted effort.
You... You bastard!
For your own sake, Eulus, you must control your anger. It will serve no one should it consume you and see you transformed.
Would you be happier had I a good reason?
What?
If my motives met with your approval, would you no longer resent the outcome? If so, then perhaps a beast's skin would suit you better. Duty, honor, morality. All constructs of convenience when put to proof. Surely the war taught you how easily power becomes the tool of the self-righteous. How the people's justice was merely a means to their ends? Yet you would ask me why. Ask any creature of this star and those above for answers, and they will tell you what suits their fancy. And they would be right to do so. What meaning there is to be found in the petty vicissitudes of your existence must be gleaned by you, and you alone. Should you seek it in battle in the fruitless pursuit of my demise, then come. Assume your rightful place as a notch on my blade.
You are a blight on the Garlean race, and there would be no more satisfying way to expunge it than by beating you to death. But I will not be party to another tragedy. I refuse to lose anyone else because of you. So go. Go! And may we never suffer your madness again!
Xenos! Perhaps you found meaning in living this way. I cannot deny you found strength. Yet if you only pursue your hedonistic pleasures and pay no heed to the plight of others, then no one will give you the time of day. You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. You'll be alone for an eternity, and you'll deserve every agonizing second of it.
We're ready to depart. The refugee ships will be leaving shortly, but I've asked mine to remain for the time being. There's room enough for you to join me on it, if you wish. Do contain your surprise. I needn't agree with the Scion's methods or intentions to acknowledge that their deeds are deserving of gratitude.
We appreciate the offer. But might I ask why you are delaying your departure? I presume it is not solely for our benefit.
I must visit Garlemald ere we return to Hydaelyn. Having caused such an uproar, it is only meet that I explain myself to the Ilsabard contingent.
Allow us to accompany you then. We should be glad to facilitate, given our familiarity with all concerned. If you would like to join as well, Eulus, we can speak of recent events on the way.
He'll be after your seat on the forum next.
Oh. Finally free from all that.
Starting to realize there's more to him than that, eh? There's more to the old man than all that. Or at least, more to him than what he seems.
Yeah, at least more than the stuffy airs he puts on most of the time.
Of course, he does care. Even if he doesn't show it.
No major injuries then. Good. I briefed the recovered soldiers and sent them on their way as quickly as I could, but nevertheless feared they would not make it in time.
The additional support was invaluable. Your men saved more than a few lives. Though not all, I regret to say.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Forchano Leveilleur. And you are owed an explanation for these most dire developments.
Another trial wrought by the final days. I was beginning to suspect as much. You doubtless feel some consternation having been forced to abandon your original plan. But trust me when I say you were right to send the refugees elsewhere. Beasts have been sighted within the capital. Perhaps it was a stroke of grim fortune that the population was decimated beforehand, as they've yet to appear in any great number, but in time. In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak. Once the airships have taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
I wouldn't have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
And I, for one, would not consider past transgressions more relevant than future contributions. Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
We swore to defend Garlemald, and so we shall.
It seems you have everything under control. You will excuse me then, for mine own duties await.
A moment, Master Fortuneau. You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Sharlayan alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
I swear.
Any other, I would doubt. But you, I trust to keep your word. For not once have you broken it. Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
It does. You have my thanks.
Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First while we wait.
Okay, so looks like we're gonna finally be able to bring them up to speed to what? Oh, wait.
Did you hear something just now?
What? What?
Where is this star's blasted pudding?
Huh?
Dawn may banish even the darkest night, and to this bitter clime bring warmth and comfort. 'Tis heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose ere I procure more suitable garments.
You Oriange, you, of all people, you didn't think to get warm clothes before coming to fucking Garlemald? What the hell?
Come down here and help, if our help be needed. So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Atheris. Oriange made it sound absolutely marvelous, more so before the impending doom, but still. And it's not like there will ever be a better time, what with the aforementioned doom.
Marvellous, they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I must suffer Oriange's inferior works no more.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom? Ahem. As I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal. We were born from Hydaelyn's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Aye, not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active preservation. Speaking to Oriange made us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit. From there, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
Forgive me, but are they...
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow! Well met. You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last. I'm Livingway, Hydaelyn's right paw. That last bit is very important. As am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I, bid you welcome to our star, Livingway. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us. As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Hydaelyn, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
'Twas with reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Loperids made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable. 'Tis trite, perhaps, but I followed my heart.
Yeah, good to have you back.
For a time, at least. Nevertheless, 'twas worth the journey to find present company well. Wilt thou attend us at the Forum and lend thine own wisdom?
If that's all quite settled, can we start moving before Urianger catches his death? Even I'm freezing out here.
Oh, I dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
Also, I am a decently leveled culinarian, so maybe I could just go and make a good pudding for Pudding Way.
Pudding Way is a recurring character for the recurring character of the story. Damn it! You, why? And you're already in Hydaelyn. Interesting.
Yeah, it worked me after the cutscene. And a little change to something more comfortable now that we're out of those harsh climbs. Okay. Before we get too much deeper into cutscenes and story, should we roll up another roulette?
Yes, where are you?
Over at the docks, making my way to the nearest node to warp to the annex. There we are. To the Valdesian Annex.
What kept you?
They dropped me at the far end of the docks.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alrighty then. So, what roulette shall we hit up now?
That's a good question. Yeah. Leveling, perhaps? Perhaps. Honestly, your attempts to cosplay Dante don't look right, Dante.
Well, at this point, it's just the outfit. I haven't gone for the whole for the whole 9 yards with getting the hair right.
You'd also have to remove the marking part if you were getting the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm still reasonably pleased with what I managed to get for the costume.
This is fair. This is fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking because as far as the weapon goes, this is probably the best I can get with what I had available. Because especially since it was kind of shooting more DMC1 than anything else, I'd say this is probably the closest stand-in I could find for the Alistor.
Fair.
Yeah, as far as getting what my target is, saying that's more for the Sparta sword, I'm gonna need to put some time and effort into finishing Eureka, because from what I've looked up, the Death Knight art, sorry, I'm getting my slow up there.
Death Knight, huh? Since when were we Death Knights right now?
Freudian slip.
Yeah, really. Death Knight, huh?
Shush!
It's sort of weird that we were both Volpera right now. That its current that we were about like 5 feet tall, and its in-game name was Olana.
Oh, shush you. Like I said, it was just a slip of the tongue. But yeah, to finish the point, yeah, the final tier of the Eureka Dark Knight weapon is, from what I found, looks to be the closest I could find to being a stand-in for the Sparta sword. So yeah, I got a lot of Eureka grinding to do to get to that point. It'll be interesting to see how long that's going to take, considering that I'd imagine not as many people are running Eureka, so it would have to be a solo grind.
Susus Bacchus. Anyway, let's see what we got. Oh, in your case, maybe it would be Susus Amogus. Tell me, for whom do you fight? Do you even believe in Eorzea? Or is it, do you believe in it? Fuck.
Nice and fast.
We are both tanks right now. Bad battle now. always the DPS, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's always a DPS in the queue, but they're always the ones that take the longest. It's like the biggest irony. Probably because half the time they're in a fight when they're queuing up, so they probably can't like exit, they can't like ready up in time.
Yeah. Plus, there's also the thing is, okay, I've got a long DPS queue. I might as well get to go to the bathroom and wait. What was that sound?
That's about right, yeah.
They really seem to like to send me flying this round.
Should remember to use arm's length if that's the case.
Yeah, nice smooth run there.
In
Alrighty then. Now Well, let's see what the Scions all think about when I can finally get a chance to tell them. Guess where I went? Okay. So the next step is to go and speak to the forum and and actually hear what their plans are for this exodus of theirs.
do you think that will go?
At this point, just hoping for the best. But given how things have gone, I can potentially see this getting complicated. Yeah, 'cause among other things, I know we still have more of Labyrinthos we need to explore before we get to the final area. So I'd imagine this is hopefully going to lead to that.
Possibly.
There is a matter I wish to raise with you before we enter. We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends. By your leave, of course.
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far.
Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
Thank you, everyone.
If I may have your attention, the ad hoc session will now commence. The purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the Seventh Dawn at their request on the Great Exodus. You may enter. On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glaciers. We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Radzat-Han. The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well. As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are. It is for this purpose that Sharlayan has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenor and conveyed to safety. Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after. Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies. Radzat Han was foremost among these. But since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
Questions as to the validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct. This Ark, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational, and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
Yeah, nice to finally get some straight answers.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency, on 2 conditions. If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfina. Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself. Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration. I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it, and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
Order! Order! We have no time to waste on debate. I call a vote. All in favor of agreeing to the Scion's terms? "71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it." Fortuneau, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Very well.
I call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.
Finally, some progress being made. Okay, so all we gotta do is figure out how to improve effectively a functional warp drive. No biggie, right? Everything all right over there?
Kinda.
Something you want to say to me, Fortuneau? Something wrong?
1 second too slow. Damn it!
Alright, so before we move on forward, let's open up some of the map and just try to get any extra aetherites attuned. It sounds like something's troubling you, but not sure if I should pry or not.
Spoilers!
Oh, goody.
swap 'em out. No, been there, done that. Damn near lost me eyebrows.
Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Force, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged, for better or worse. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the ether burner conundrum.
Huh. Not seen you lot down here before.
There are Archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface, by whatever means you see fit.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the ether burner.
Aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the ether burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb. But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the Forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient. A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Loperids?
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive. It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, and as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Kinda I like this Lalafell here.
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Aye, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some in's like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it, though. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the Northern Empty during the calamity. With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with. Drive calls from Ragnarok-class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need. According to the Gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up. It's rough going in there, even for the cream. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
Weren't we near that part of the Ragnarok when we went to destroy Bahamut?
Oh, reference to the old Bahamut raid line. Yes, please.
Heavens, are you all right? You look pale as a... Well... Let's put that battle from your mind for now. Deep breaths. That's it.
There are multiple internment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours. What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry Heaven's Ward. This is Alphino. The Scions have need of you.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
You're calling in everyone.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-Wood expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists, or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Anyway, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Combine a source like that with the ether burner, and 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you choose a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship. I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? There's plunder for the taking, and I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog!
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
Literally calling in everyone one to help. Yeah, this is an all hands on deck kind of situation.
Yep. When you're ready to make your way down, just tell it.
Our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Dalamud and procure arcane relics of Allagan Make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Salt and Sworn and Brass Blades for support as you must. Papashan, send word to the guilds. We will require the expertise of master artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials. Thiergeist, we have need of your stone torches. They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
As commander of the Stone Torches, my son Zimberk will personally see it done.
Pippin, I would have you lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Tizona's blade clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you take charge of the search for Allagan relics. Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it. The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Uldar's best efforts may be for naught. And yet, when we Eorzeans rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm, did we not learn one simple truth? That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together. It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Uldar will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
Having the music from the Bahamut raids playing.
We fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
Good to see Elise again.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Our deficiencies so plain to see.
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the scions assigned to the Shroud. I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
Then I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
I won't let it be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
There you are! We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already... Ah.
Oh. Of course we had to visit Horshapon's grave.
A dragon's roar! And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honorable Lord Lorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid. Hmm? Is that...
Hancock? What a surprise this is. And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
right. I think that got more than enough story in. So I'd say we can beat it down for getting more activity in.
You're still an old Charlian, yes?
Yep, still an old Charlian.
Where have you gone?
Currently, I'm on the main story quest, No Job Too Small. I'm over at the Charlian Hamlet.
Be right there.
Oh, doing some mining, I see.
Where have you disappeared to? Ah, there you are.
I was about to say, on your left.
If you say that, this pickaxe is going in your head. This level 55 hard silver delabra to be precise. It wasn't just doing some mining. Visiting cosmic exploration.
Ah, that's the new thing that's been recently in the recent patches, right?
Yep.
So still ways off of that myself.
Yep.
Getting closer little by little.
Just a wee bit. That's what it was getting so annoyed about earlier. What I was saying was spoilers. It was trying to get gold rank on the missions and getting runs and stuff like this. Like, didn't have enough GP.
It's something for me to look forward to.
Potentially, yes.
Oh, this one.
allowed to die.
First boss up!
You need to bonk over the head.
Ooh. We seem to be having this kind of luck with the first bosses and dungeons today.
Normally, you're not the one playing tank. Not to suggest there's a correlation, but normally, the roles are reversed. Normally, you're healer or DPS, normally, it's the one playing tank. And normally when it's DPS, it's melee. And to compare that boss to DPS. Never able to figure out the mechanic of possible connect with it. Did you just die?
Yeah.
How?
Living dead.
Could've. A little more warning next time, eh?
Yeah, I've gotten a little too accustomed to running solo, so yeah, definitely working on it.
We're really out of practice after 2 weeks of you being gone. We're really rusty. 2 weeks, Jesus. Then again, usually the communication, teamwork communication is usually silent, and usually you're the one that needs to keep alive. So our communication is a little less instinctive now because we're both playing the role of lead. But neither of us is doing DPS, which one of us normally does. One of us normally either goes healer. You normally go healer or DPS, and when that isn't the case, usually you're the one that's playing. Yeah. When you're not, when you're not DPS, you're usually the healer instead. So that would probably make sense. The fact that neither is particularly accustomed to playing tank, since you don't generally play the tank when it plays healer. You're generally the DPS, and when it's playing tank, you're generally either also DPS or the healer instead. So we're not used to this dynamic, which is what's getting us killed. At least that's its analysis. Of course it doesn't help. Freaking hand is sore! Has been for a while, actually.
Yeah, it has been a while since I've main tanked anything.
Shit. Ah,
You okay?
Oh. Bollocks.
You
Yeah,
alright?
never mind. Kinda lost, something just fell on the floor. Got the keyboard.
Oh.
On the keyboard lid just fell off. Fuck for ethereal shit.
Alright.
bloody longer than 18 seconds!
Feels like it used to last longer.
It probably did. It lasts about 15, and regen lasts about 18. Probably nerfed it. Okay. It's an Endwalker boss, alright? Ow. Ah. Read that one, didn't you, Nate?
Yep.
us being out of practice if we misread that. The secret to that one... The secret to actually reading that one is figuring out which posts are, which one's missing, like, you know, basically just cover posts. Markers or whatever. The area is fully enclosed, that means it's going to be hit. One missing. One enclosed, that means basically, just check the outer corners. If there's one of those postings missing from the outer corners, if not going to fire up on that particular corner.
Oh, and looks like I got a level on that one. Alright, one more level to go, then I've maxed out Dark Knight. Then I guess the question is, which would be next? Warrior or Paladin? Out of all the tanks, I'd say Paladin is the one I have the least experience with. Yeah, considering that we're getting close to hitting the 3-hour mark, that might be a good spot to wrap it up for tonight, because got a little bit of action in and made a nice bit of progress with the story. Yeah, maybe feeling up to it afterwards. We can hit that after stream. Hit that last that last roll quest and get that knocked out. Yeah.
Indeed.
So, yeah, let's wrap it up for now. So, thanks, Stormy, as always, for joining. It's always a pleasure. It feels like we're finally starting to get into the end game here.
For Endwalker, yes, absolutely.
Yep. Next time we come back here, it'll be time for us to go and, well, do what we can to help around while we wait for all our allies to bring in the materials needed to get the starship up and running. After that, well, after that, we've got an apocalypse to thwart. How far we get, only time will tell, so thanks to everyone who came by to watch. I hope you had a good time, and until next time, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.